Hi guys, it's Leann here, and today we're restarting Tasty Talks with Leann. And if you guys are new or haven't been here for a while, you guys wouldn't know what Tasty Talks with Leann is. It is a podcast where we sit, chit chat, and talk. We're being relatable, and we're also making food. On today's menu for our Tasty Talks with Leann, we are making gluten and dairy-free mozzarella sticks. You heard it first, gluten and dairy mozzarella sticks. If you guys don't know, I am gluten and dairy-free, and I am 99.9% sure I have PCOS, so I really have to watch what I eat, and what better way than to try new foods with you. From the title that we are going to be talking about the winter arc. Why need I say more? Let's just start. Cue the intro. Now that we're back from the intro, I'm gonna start off by telling you everything that I have right here, the magic that's happening. I have the most important part, the magic that we're about to make. And this is new to me, I haven't made it, so I may hate it, I may love it. We have the Daiya gluten, dairy-free, plant-based mozzarella sticks. I hunted for these and I found them at Whole Foods. So if you're curious, I found these at Whole Foods. I also have panko crumbs. These are gluten-free. And then I have eggs. I just took all of the eggs out because why the heck not? A plate, a bowl, tomato paste, coconut milk. I thought I had some in the fridge. I'm gonna bring you guys down. You guys aren't gonna see my face. I don't have two cameras set up. I honestly just haven't been feeling it, and I have like a small window before my parents come home, but also not sponsored. But after our trip to Gatlinburg, I needed caffeine. Is it like almost warm? Yes. This is not PCOS friendly, but it is gluten. I have my phone here, and I have just a couple notes. I did not put them in chronological order by any means, but we are going to start off with what the winter arc is. The winter arc is really about self-improvement, wellness focused, goal setting, and personalized to your own needs. I feel like when it comes to watching people do the winter arc in the past years, see them flourish, I feel like personally for me, I have seen a lot of personalized goal setting as far as maybe what they didn't get accomplished, things that they accomplished but need to continue to improve on. And for instance, I was just watching Lauren Schneider, and she just posted her winter arc video, and I have a weekend vlog that I'm filming currently, and I haven't gotten to watch her video. Was wanting to film another podcast. I felt that I really wanted to speak on winter arc, considering I am opening up the time of my life where I am starting to really self-improve and work on things that are focused to me, and working on bettering my gut health, and not even just my gut health, but like my wellness health too. I feel like, and this kind of like steps right into the next part. What I read off of Google, and I did quite some research on it, is that you're being proactive in starting the New Year's resolutions. You're taking charge of your inactivity, and you're realizing what you haven't done, and completely of the nature, like I said before, what you really need to focus on the most within this time of, I'm gonna do 2, and I'm gonna cut them in half, so I'm gonna do 3. You're really focusing and zoning in on what works for you. To me, I feel as though you are working toward, for instance, I'll give an example instead because I can't seem to express how I am trying to explain what I'm thinking. So if you hear all that pouncing, those are the kitties upstairs. But for instance, today, and I'm gonna start with just one load, like loading it, and I'm going to put it on parchment paper. And then we will air fry them just because I don't really want to bake them. My mom taught me this. You crumple parchment paper and then you fold it to needs. These are small, so I shouldn't need it that big. I don't really want to get too down and dirty. When you're taking charge of your inactivity, you're focusing and zoning in on what you haven't done so good at and what you can really focus in. Okay, this cheese is very delicate. We're gonna have to put our hands in motion. Got it. I don't want too many crumbs now that I'm thinking about it. Here are some of the negatives that I've personally seen to doing the winter arc. Some may think that it's overpowering and low-key. Okay, I already see this as a fail. Don't be negative. That's another part, is negativity for me. That's why I would be doing the winter arc. Okay, we're gonna have to switch it. The way my hands are, overpowering and low-key punishment towards not being proactive enough during the year. I do kind of agree with that. And why I say I would agree is because of the fact that I notice all of the creators that I've watched this far talk about what they haven't done versus what they have achieved. They're honestly putting a negative flow out there, if that makes any sense. Comparison towards others and peer pressure because of the trend. It has become a trend on TikTok. That's why I'm like low-key on the fence of trying it, because I'm not a big trendy type of person. Like, I'll dig into some trends, but like the dancing trends on TikTok, like I don't foresee myself in. Okay. Something is so wrong here. We are just digging it. They don't have to be perfect. I have olive oil spray. I'm gonna spray it pretty far back. Okay. I'm gonna move you over. We're gonna air fry these suckers for 10 minutes. Okay, so now that we are done with this, we will clean this mess up later. I got so distracted in trying to zone in on getting them dipped that I haven't really gotten to really fully explain. I feel like also with the perception of social media, and I just recently talked about it within all of the Vlogtober episodes, so you can go hunt for it somewhere. I talked about the huge comparison, and I think I may have talked about it or just like a teeny bit. I have such a bad perception with social media. I feel like I dig and I dig and I dig, and this is kind of where the music comes in. And when I talk about music and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go listen to music, what I really intentionally do with the music is I almost like exit the real world once I put my headphones in, and then I jump into this fantasy life, if you will, and I jump into it and I get to choose who my friends are and what we're doing and where I live, and I just get to choose everything, which helps to a point. Not by any means very unhealthy in a bad way. It just gets unhealthy when I do it too much for too long. So for instance, if I listen to music every single night for like 2 hours, that's where it gets to be too much. That's why lately I've been drinking the sleepy time tea, because A, it really helps me sleep, and B, even though it makes me a little bit groggy in the morning, it's not like I can't wake up and go to the gym. Like it's not putting my goals at risk. That's why I drink that tea. With the peer pressure, that's not so much my thing, but I feel like, I don't even know if I talked about it. I don't know these girls at all. I quite literally had just moved to the community, and I was at the pool, and it was during summer or right towards the end of the school year, where they had just opened the pool up, I think the 23rd of May in the community. So I went to the pool one afternoon, and when I had gotten to the pool, there were these two girls, and it was like a group of 3, and they were all girls, and they were talking about how they felt. I don't want to say fat because it's not my words to say, but they felt like they had to look a certain way, and it irks my soul, and it kind of saddens me when I see girls who are the age I was 5 years ago thinking the same damn thing. And fast forward 5 years, I may not have changed a lot by any means, and I may look quite oddly similar to body figure wise as I did back then, 5 years ago, 5-6 years ago, when I was in the same grade as them. But one thing that I would tell them, if I had the brain power to, and if I had the mindset of telling them that they were gorgeous girls, like there's nothing wrong with their body. And I was overhearing it, not because I was trying to eavesdrop. I was overhearing it quite literally because they were in the same vicinity of the pool. Like they were literally only inches away. It just kind of saddened me because of the fact that they were gorgeous. Like they were all relative normal body type, which I don't feel like there's a specific body type for anyone. You can look a certain way and be a certain way and have a certain figure, but everybody's bones and figure are different. Some people have wider rib cages. Some people have wider hips. Some people look like a, what is it called? Look like, some people look like the pear shape. There are so many shapes and sizes in being considered obese. And I only say obese because that's just technical terms. Quite literally, a lot of my life, I feel like you get perceived as different and you get treated differently when you look a certain way. I feel like if I have a platform, no matter how big, no matter how small, I definitely want to change that. And when I started talking about changing my content, that's what I'm meaning. I want to bring awareness to situations that I've been in and tell people that no matter how big, no matter how small the situation is, especially in the wellness area, because I've been so into the wellness era of my life. I've been, no sir, no sir, no thank you, thank you. Chris was just trying to grab something on the wall. I don't even know. No thank you. In all reality, in all hindsight, I think that the peer pressure doesn't specifically get to me, but I feel like those girls in my head were peer pressured to have to look a certain way by the summertime, and it's ridiculous. You're never gonna get there. You're never gonna get there with that mindset of I have to look like that, because I once too had that mindset. And I think with the winter arc, I'm gonna let them like sit there for a little bit. I just feel that there's no reason for the winter arc to be perceived anything other than self-improvement. I feel like once people start tagging things or titling it goals, and then put their specific goals, or titling it and making it seem realistic enough to one person, multiple different viewers, that they can do exactly what they're doing in the winter arc era. And I'm not, when I talked about Lauren Schneider, I did say that I haven't watched her videos, so it's not based on her video and hating her, I promise you. But what I'm saying is, I feel like social media brings a light of unrealistic goals and unrealistic things without putting a warning to people that realistically some people are just never going to look like a Victoria's Secret model, or some people are just never going to look traditional skinny, you know what I'm saying? There's just no reason to think that you have to look like something. You can achieve it. Like I said a couple of videos prior, in multitude of different videos, I have a certain body type goal, but I know that it's going to be a long road. I've been in this health journey, like I should say really fitness journey, for 5 years, 3 years, something like that, between 3 to 5 years. I'm only just now seeing major differences in my body type. Most beginners walk into the fitness, and I'm again basing it off of my own specific, most people who are hopping into fitness who are larger or have goals that they want to achieve, and it makes them need to go to the gym. First of all, you don't need to go to the gym. You don't need to go to the gym. Sometimes I don't go to the gym and I achieve the same feeling when I don't go to the gym, and I make sure that the gym is happiness only, because that's what I want out of the gym. I want happiness out of the gym. I want to go to the gym to make myself feel happier and feel loved and feel more self-confident because of my body goals. So I feel like sometimes when people mark a achievable goal of theirs, or like a goal that they have that is achievable to them, not everyone can achieve the same goals. Like Lauren Schneider's goals, her goals are most likely going to consist of being more, and I watched a little bit of it, being more in tune with resting within the winter era, resting but still being productive. And when I say resting, I don't mean resting, but being within herself. So being more self-aware of things that go on. If you're curious about how I make my sauce without the vodka, it's literally just tomato paste, coconut milk, and you can opt for anything thicker that's not milk. Coconut milk just has a bit of a thicker consistency to it. But I also looked up the rules and how you can set up for the winter arc. So the rules consist of discipline, consistency, goal-oriented thoughts, establishing a morning routine, physical and health and wellness, mental health and growth, setting an evening routine, and maintaining a clean work environment. Clean work and house environment, so a clean environment in total. How to set up your winter arc would be to set intentions. So what are your intentions to get out of the winter arc? Are you doing the winter arc for a goal? So do you not have many huge hard goals? Are you making a goal of being more intentional? What your goals are bases off of your intentions create the winter arc and how your winter arc will go. Oh, shit, I forgot. This is the high one. Start small. For me, my intentions are going to be small. I don't expect myself to get a perfect body by the end of winter. Like, that is so not what I'm expecting. And I wouldn't even want that on myself because I know that's just unhealthy. I don't ever completely open the can. Oh, obviously. Usually that never happens. I dump in however much, and then if I add, or if I need tomato paste, I always add in tomato paste as needed. Sometimes I want it heavy consistency, sometimes I want it more of a watery or milky consistency. Just depends. Create a plan for challenges. So you don't necessarily have to have set challenges when you are working through the plan of your winter arc, but you definitely want to account for things that may happen. For instance, for me, motivation is a big one for me, and I think that's kind of just because of the fact that I have never really done a winter arc before. This would be my first complete time doing the winter arc. I have to set realistic expectations that some things are going to be more challenging than others, and that is okay. There's nothing wrong with failing, because at the end of the day, when you're failing, you're not really failing, you're not succeeding for a purpose. There's a reason why you're not succeeding. Not succeeding means that next time I'm gonna pop out of the picture, but you'll still hear me. When you're not succeeding, it'll motivate you even more the next time around to become more successful the second time. Sometimes people fail and then they choose not to continue on because they failed. There's no reason for that. There is no reason to not continue after you fail. You're never gonna get better at something if you don't fail. There are pros and cons to doing the winter arc, but I'm thinking about giving it a try. And that was the whole ideology of creating this video and this podcast and talking about it, is because I am truly thinking about doing the winter arc and working on becoming more intentional of what I do. I do live with my family, so sometimes I do like to eat what they eat, not as much, but balance would be like one of my goals. Making sure that when I'm balancing, I'm truly balancing and not, I'm balancing for the purpose of my gut and not because I feel the need to balance my meals. So for instance, this morning, my parents wanted to go and I woke up a little later, so we ended up eating McDonald's for breakfast, which it's not the healthiest. It's not good at all for my body. One thing for certain is that I worked with myself, and when I felt full or felt like I didn't want it anymore, I stopped eating. It's just working with yourself and giving yourself a moment. Things are gonna take time, so I don't expect myself to get very lean or all of this stuff, but I guess this video is just chatting about the winter arc and my thoughts on it. I do think it's great, but there are some cons to it, which I've already talked about. Thinking about giving it a try. I'm gonna do a little bit more research into what I want for my winter arc, but you guys know what time it is. Since I've already made my sauce, these are very delicate. I'm not gonna lie, it was more successful than I thought, but they're still very delicate. Here's the sauce. It's my version of like what I like for marinara. Oh. Ooh. It's more creamy than a pull type of consistency. For some people, this wouldn't be ideal and they wouldn't like this, but I'm not mad at it. I think it needs a little bit of work, and I think I forgot flour, but it'll work. Like always, like, subscribe, give it a big thumbs up, and comment down below if you have any questions for me to furthermore explain my thoughts or things that you think that I missed. And I hope to see you guys on my next podcast every Thursday at 8 a.m. Toodles.